So recently I posted a video called Black Culture Lost the Plot, and I did not expect this video to do well at all. Did far better than I ever anticipated. And another thing that really surprised me is the amount of people that actually agreed with me. I mean, this topic is very divisive, very polarizing, and I mean, we've got 20,000 likes to 700 dislikes. That's a 96.7 like to dislike ratio right there. Over 300,000 views and almost 8,000 comments. This really caught me off guard, and a lot more people agreed with me than I thought, which was very refreshing. This was very comforting to see. Now, I want to address some of the criticism on that video, because though the criticism, came from a minority, I still want to address it because it's important to try to address your critics and debate with them, speak with them, try to find some sort of common ground and just, an understanding at least. You don't have to agree, but come to some sort of understanding, and that's what I want to do. All right, I'm not going to shy away from the critics. I'm not going to silence them and build a wall between them and I'm not going to do that. I want to address some of the critics. I'll do that later in this video. I'll address directly comments, or I'll do that in another video. But one big criticism I got on that video was that I left a lot of things out. I left a lot of context out, and I didn't bring up, this factor or that factor and da-da-da-da-da-da. And if you haven't seen this video, basically throughout it, I bring up a bunch of things that I'm seeing on social media that were annoying me. That it was just like bullshit taking place in African American communities, or things I see African Americans doing on social media that are making the community look bad, and I don't think properly represent the community as a whole. Things of this nature, right? That was the point of this video. The point of this video wasn't to get into the deeper layers and deeper topics of the record labels and the this and the that. That wasn't the topic. That's why I left those things out. Just because I left those things out does not mean I don't believe them to be true. I don't know where people got this idea from. I thought we developed object permanence within the first year of our lives, guys. I know just because something you can't see it there doesn't mean it's not there. Just because you didn't hear me talk about it in this particular video does not mean I think it's not true. What the hell? And it's a lot of grown ass folks doing this shit. What are you talking about? You're too grown to be coming at me with this stupid ass mindset. Bro, you're probably someone's parent, bro. I hope you're not teaching this type of bullshit to your kids, bro, because then we're really going to have a bigger problem. So yeah, just because I didn't get into deeper topics in this video does not mean that, doesn't mean I won't in the future. Doesn't mean I don't believe that there are other factors. That wasn't the point of the video. All right. So that's why I didn't do it. It wasn't the point. All right. So I'll do that in the future, and I'll do some of that in this video as well. We're going to elaborate on some of the things I spoke about in this video. So yeah. One big thing I saw a lot of people talking about was politics, and naturally, you know what I mean? When you talk about these sort of topics, it's going to get political, whether you like it or not, whether you're a political person or not, which I'm not. Politics interests me, of course, but I don't consider myself to be a political person. So I was obviously thoroughly annoyed when people would waltz in and assign me some imaginary political side. I don't identify with either side of the political spectrum. I stay out of that shit. I don't like politics. I don't trust politicians. Neither side gives a shit about you. They're only interested in themselves and furthering their own motives. And a lot of it they don't got shit to do with white or black. All right. What they're focused on is green. That's the only color politicians are worried about. What they do is they use whites and blacks. All right. They use them as pawns. All right. They use them as stepping stones. This is what they do. All right. And I've already made videos about this, so I don't want to get too into it. But politicians don't give a shit about you. They simply use you for your vote, for the influence, for this and for that. You are nothing more than a pawn to them. All right. Politicians don't give a shit about you. All right. They're just really good at making you think they give a shit about you, but none of them do. And that goes for both sides, not just one. That goes for both. So I don't think that voting conservative is going to solve any of this. I really don't. But I do think voting left will make this worse. That I truly do believe that. I think voting Democrat has contributed to a lot of this bullshit we're seeing. And I also think that continuing to vote Democrat will worsen this situation we're in the black community. I think it'll worsen it. Now, one thing that really annoyed me recently was seeing Joe Biden bring Glorilla to the White House. First of all, we all know Joe Biden doesn't know jack shit about Glorilla. Okay, we all know that. This is just for the image. Oh, look, I'm with y'all. I'm in touch with the culture. This old motherfucker does not know shit about Glorilla and is likely very disgusted by her. Let's be honest. Would he associate himself with Glorilla if she didn't have the type of influence she had? No. Or if there was nothing to gain, like personal gain for them, do you think he'd ever associate with Glorilla? Hell no. We all know that much. We all know that much. She's a pawn. She's being used. Just like many black entertainers are being used. In music, everywhere. They're being used. They're being used to destroy their own communities. But the blame is on them because they are the ones making the music. No one has a gun to their head forcing them in those studios to glorify murder, gang activity, circulating drugs in the communities, etc. No one's forcing them to do that. That's on them. They're doing it. But there are people above them that are gaining from it. I'm not going to get too into that. But I'm going to just leave it at that. There are people above them that are gaining. But the blame is still on them because they're the ones with the microphones in their hands. It's their voices that are playing through the speakers, influencing young minds. It's them. Now think about all of the other classy, successful, professional black women out there that they could have used to set an example for all the young black women out there. All of the black women out there that could have set a better example than Glorilla. But they didn't choose any of them. They chose Glorilla, and this is by design. But here's the thing is, this isn't just a Democrat thing. Y'all think, oh, just Democrats do this? All my conservatives out there, y'all think, oh yeah, let's all dogpile on the Democrats. You know, they're all doing it. Nope. Cause your boy be doing this shit too. He be doing this same bullshit too. This same pandery bullshit. Look at this. He don't even know Lil Pump's name. He called him Lil Pimp. Like, bro, both sides are guilty. Neither side is on your side. Especially if you're black. But it goes either way. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. No politician is on your side. Now, before I get into it, I would like to say, being blackness, it is not a state of mind. Okay? Blackness is a skin color. Black is a race. Race is a social construct. It is not a state of mind. One big issue with the black community is that idea that being black is a state of mind. This is one thing all communities use to keep black people in one little bubble. You know, keep them acting one certain way. And if you act another way, oh, well, give me your black card. Do you ever hear people saying, give me your Asian card, give me your Hispanic card, give me your white card? No, you only ever hear black card. Why is that? Why is that? It's almost as if so people can do shit like this. So they can use black people for shit just like this. Biden, quote from Biden, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're voting for me or Trump, then you ain't black. I bet that was the first time this old geezer has ever used the word ain't. Get that shit out your old mouth. Anyways, this is how they weaponize that whole idea. And that's why they constantly reinforce it, by the way. So they can then weaponize and use it to manipulate the black community, black people in general. That's what they do. I don't like this idea that blackness is a state of mind, that your black card can be revoked if you speak out or you do this or you do that. Maybe you have your own interests, right? Maybe you're a black person that likes Harry Potter, you like playing tennis, watching hockey and shit. You know, maybe you're not all into the things that people commonly associate with black people, the stereotypical bullshit. Maybe you're just your own person. Does that mean your black card should be revoked? Does that mean you're not black? I had so many people coming in my comments on my last video saying, oh, you're not really black. You're saying this. Oh, you're not really black. And all the people that agree with you that are black in here aren't really black either. I'm sorry, are you gatekeeping blackness? What are you talking about? Can black people not have differing opinions without having their black cards revoked? What kind of community even is this? Brother, I'm black whether you like it or not. And so are all these other black people that disagree with you. Just because someone disagrees with you does not mean they're no longer black. Why do you associate blackness with this set of thoughts and this set of opinions and this set of this and that? Who did this to you? God damn. Like, and why are we reinforcing it? Like, if people that weren't black did this to black people, then why are black people now reinforcing this shit? Why are we reinforcing it? Stop it. Cut it out, bro. Like, black people are allowed to disagree with each other without having their black cards taken from each other. It's so toxic. It is so poisonous and damaging to the community, and it is so fucking annoying. It annoys everybody. And just stop. Like, just stop. I'm so tired of hearing that shit. Just stop. So this is another reason you just don't trust these political bastards, these snakes, these cold-blooded. I can't get too into it because then there's gonna be some problems with some stuff. But this is why I don't trust them. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the 1989 film Lean on Me, starring Morgan Freeman, based on Joe Louis Clark, right? This is a classic, and if you are black, I think this is an important movie. I think this is an important movie for the black community, okay? It's based on a true story about a principal who he was assigned to a school that was basically in the gutter, and he had to turn shit around, okay? Now, this is a must-watch movie. This is an absolute must-watch. If you have not seen this shit, and this is the man who it's based around, but he is portrayed Morgan Freeman, right, in the movie, but that is the actual guy. And yes, he did pull up to the school with a baseball bat. That's Crazy Joe right there, baby. If you're unfamiliar, get familiar. He's an important individual. Now, one thing he didn't do, and this was criticism I got in my last video, that I'm not being empathetic enough. I am not your mother. I don't give a shit about being empathetic. I'm not trying to coddle you. There's some serious shit going on, and it's been going on way too long. I'm not here to be empathetic. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. I'm not here to coddle your feelings. Most of y'all are grown ass men saying this shit. I'm not showing empathy for bro. I'm actually getting too riled up right now. I need to calm down. I very much enjoy Joe Louis Clark. Now, one thing he did to help turn around that school was he didn't show empathy. He wasn't coddling all the people's feelings. He waltzed in and expelled half the damn school on his first day. He didn't give a shit. He said, hey, whoa. If y'all are not here to learn and get with the program, get the fuck out. Because there's people here that are. That's what he said. Simple as that. That's a real one right there. And there's people that have met him that talk about this. And they actually say that it was inspirational for them and it helped to motivate them. And this is the thing is everyone wants to coddle African Americans all the time. They're always about we gotta be empathetic. Oh, we gotta be understanding. Oh, we gotta be this. We gotta be that. No, keep shit real with people. That's how you make change. You keep shit real. Stop trying to coddle people's feelings. This is how you create that bullshit, bitch ass entitlement bullshit. That's how you create it. You're being too empathetic. Now, have some empathy, but goddamn. You're being too empathetic because that's what got us here in the first place is too much empathy. Giving handouts. At what point does the community say, fuck your handouts. We don't want the handouts. Keep them. You're showing me too much empathy. Back up. Let me figure this shit out. Let me figure it out. This shit annoys me because I feel like a lot of white people out there, they look at black folks, right? No matter who the individual is, without understanding anything about them, and they automatically have the guilt. Oh, you need your hand held. Oh, we need to lower the standards for you. Oh, we need to show empathy. Oh, we need to... no. That shit annoys me so much. That shit, bro, they're literally seeing you as a lesser individual. I had a black person in my comments the other day say that the standards need to be lowered for black people. Holy shit. A white supremacist would actually agree with you on that. But you're a black man. Why are you sharing the same... Bro, some people are genuinely too far gone in the community. The victim complex has been drilled so far into their fucking noggins that they are just stuck like this. I don't think they have been brainwashed. Like, they've been brainwashed. That's all there is to it. I got off topic here. I'm getting riled up. He was very influential, Joe Louis Clark. He was very influential on a lot of young black lives. He helped change a lot of young black lives. He helped get a lot of people off the streets, out of prison, graduated. and in the right direction when nobody else could. Quotes like this: he was a little heavy-handed, a little over the top sometimes, but I have yet to meet a student who ever said anything bad about Joe Clark. He's responsible for the person I am today. He always made me feel like there was nothing I couldn't do. Even though he was heavy-handed, even though he was expelling people because he wasn't putting up with their bullshit. And that's the thing is, just because someone doesn't put up with your bullshit and coddles you and feeds into every little goddamn excuse you make, right? Just because someone isn't doing that, that doesn't mean they hate you. That doesn't mean they don't believe in you. They just believe that you're better. That's all it is. They just believe in that you're better than just succumbing to all your excuses and just folding under everything you believe to be put up against you. That actually probably isn't really even put up against you. It's all in your head because the victim mentality has been instilled in your brains. You've been programmed to be a goddamn victim. And now you actually think you are, and you just follow in the footsteps of a perpetual victim. You'll never climb out of the ditch if you don't first change your goddamn mindset. And this is what he believed in. That's why he had a high standard. And that's the thing is, I have high standards for black people. I don't have low standards for black people. I don't want to put up with the hood rat ratchet bullshit. I don't have any tolerance for that whatsoever. And I don't want to hear excuses. I have a lot of people coming into my comments on this video just making excuses. Do you know what you're excusing? Like, do you even realize what you're excusing? You want to look at the statistics real quick? The crime statistics? Do you want to actually do this with me? Do I have to walk your hand over to the crime? Do I have to embarrass us all right now? Or will you just take my word for it? Because I really don't want to put that shit on the screen. Because that shit is actually embarrassing. But can you take my word on this? What are we excusing exactly? We're excusing crime now? Are we excusing acting like a complete asshat in public? Are we excusing sagging your pants down to your ankles so the whole block can see your bare, sweaty ass cheeks? I'm sorry. What are we excusing right now? Have a higher standard. Holy shit. Why is your standard for black people so low? Anybody listening, I don't care what color you are. Why is your standard for African American people so goddamn low? And why are you excusing the bullshit? Why don't you have a higher standard? Why would you rather give a handout? Let's move on. If you have not seen this movie, please watch it. This is an important film, especially for the black community. I think this is a very important film. Do yourself a favor. And it's a good movie. It's not just like an important movie. No, this is a really good movie. It's got Morgan Freeman in it, bro. Like, this is some good shit. Now, this scene I like a lot. This kid right here is like smoking crack and doing all this bullshit out in the street. He's just running the streets being a badass little kid, right? And Joe Clark takes him up to the rooftop. And he tells the kid, jump. Go ahead. Jump. And the kid's like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? Whoa, this is too much. What are you doing? And Joe Clark just straight up tells him, the way you're carrying on through life, you're gonna die. Like, simple as that. You're gonna end up in a box. So why don't we just expedite the process? It's inevitable, right? You keep this bullshit up, you're going to die. Simple as that. You're going to be a complete nuisance to society. And then you're going to get yourself killed or locked up forever. You're going to rot in prison anyways. So just jump off the roof now. Let's expedite this shit. And the kid's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. He's not, nah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to change my life, blah, blah, blah. I like that scene a lot. I do like, because sometimes you have to be heavy-handed. You know what I mean? You have to just tell people what it is. You can't coddle them all the time. You can't just do what basically everyone is already doing with African Americans in this country. We can't keep doing this because obviously it's not working. Shit is getting worse. All right. We can't keep doing this. So sometimes you need a Joe Clark in your life. Someone who's just going to keep shit real with you. They're going to cut through all the bullshit. And they're going to tell you what it is. They're going to tell you just straight up what it is, what's going to happen if you keep up the bullshit. We're going to cut out all the excuses. We're going to cut out this. We're not going to intellectualize shit that just isn't that deep. We're going to get straight to the point. You keep this shit up, that's where you're going to end up. Simple as that. Boom. That's what a lot of people need in their life. That's how a lot of people, it's the only way a lot of people learn. Some people you could tell them the stove is hot, don't touch that. And they're like, oh shit, okay, cool, I don't want to get burned. You got other people. You tell them, hey, yo, the stove is hot. Don't touch that. They're going to go put their hand on the goddamn stove so they can learn the hard way. Some people just learn the hard way. Some people have to feel it to believe it. You know what I mean? So there you go, son. You just need a hard lesson sometimes. Now, I'm kind of just speed running all these topics. I'm not getting as deep as I would like in any of these topics. I'm kind of just doing what I did last time. I'm just ranting off the top. All this shit is just off the dome. I'm just chatting right now, all right? I'm just yapping, whatever. I didn't write anything down. I'm not reading off some scripts. Just keeping shit real, all right? I'm just talking. I like it better that way. I feel it's more genuine. It's more raw. And I don't get my message across the way I would like sometimes. I'm not as articulate as I would like to be sometimes. Oftentimes, I should say. But it just feels better. It just feels better to talk about something like this from the soul. You know, it's the soul speaking. And, you know, you have a lot of intellectuals out there who want to talk about this sort of shit. But it's real funny because a lot of them, they have no connection with this. What they know about the black community or the impoverished, they learn from a textbook. I didn't learn it from some goddamn textbook. I lived this shit my entire life. This is my community. This is my life. I've dealt with this shit since the day I was born. Okay? And when I speak about this shit, I speak about the shit I've seen with my own two eyes, the shit I've felt, the shit I've heard, the shit I've experienced. I've experienced a lot in I may be 23, but I'm not new here. I've been around the block a couple times, bro. I've lived enough lifetimes in my 23 years. Okay, so if you want to hear my age and downplay me and say, this young buck, he don't know his way around. Oh, he hasn't been out here. He hasn't done this. You can knock yourself out. You can be an ignorant shit. But I've been around. I've been plenty of places. Trust me. I've lived life. So I speak from my experience. Now, one thing I would like to touch on real quick is music. Now there's so much I want to talk about right now. I can't get to it all. Now, I'm not going to be as articulate as I would like to be, but I think I can still make the points I want to make. Okay. So I have 2 songs to show y'all today. 2 songs to show y'all. One is, Like That. And one is Type Shit. These are the 2 hottest hip hop songs right now. These are the 2 hottest ones. One is starring Kendrick Lamar. You know, you got Metro. It's the new Future Metro Boomin album that just dropped. One has Travis Scott. One has Kendrick Lamar's features. These are 2 of the biggest guys in the freaking game right here. Especially as a feature, a lot of especially young people are listening to this shit. Okay, let's read the lyrics to this shit. Now, hip hop music in general is very influential. Okay, it's very influential. And art in general is, but especially hip hop, especially to the black community. Now, here's one thing I saw in the comments. Somebody said music is not influential. Well, that is just inaccurate, and you can actually look that up. There's science behind how influential music is, and I can bring up a bunch of examples. But he said he brought up a false equivalency, which a lot of people in that comment section did. They bring up false equivalencies. He said, okay, if music is so influential, then video games are. Well, that's not true. You can't compare music, or especially hip hop, with video games, because video games it's virtual, and we all know that's fake and not real. And some black kid isn't going to be playing a video game and aspire to be like some freaking made up character in a video game. Okay. But music is more real, and it speaks to things that are actually happening, that have happened, and that people can feel. It gives you a different feeling, within. And a black kid listening to this music, he's seeing another black man, right? And he's saying, well, he came from my same environment, and he's rich, he's living my dream life, he's very successful now. And what's he talking about? Well, he's talking about doing drugs and joining gangs and killing people and doing this, that, and the third. Shit, maybe that's what I need to do to get up. Goddamn. They're not getting that same shit from a video game. No one's saying, oh shit, they're playing COD and like, well, if I want to be successful in life, I gotta 360 no scope people off. Like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? I gotta jump out the airplane on Warzone and catch 20 bodies if I want to be. No one's saying that. No one's playing Warzone and shit and saying this is what I gotta do to be successful. But they listen to the music. These influential people that look like them, they're seeing a guy that looks just like them. They come from the same place. They may be from the same state, the same city, the same neighborhood. And they're saying, oh shit, I'm from Chicago too. Well, what's Chief Keef talking about? What's G Herbo talking about? What's Lil Durk talking about? How did they get up? How did they get so rich and successful? I want to get out this shit. I want to get out the mud too. and they listen to the music. That's why the music is so influential. It connects with them on a whole different level. The kid sees himself in those people, and he wants to take that same route. Oh shit, I gotta sell drugs to get up. Oh, if I want the women like all these rappers are getting, shit, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And that's how they get influenced into that way of life. That's how it happens. Now, I want to just read the lyrics to some of it, and these are the biggest songs right now. You hear this shit everywhere. I mean, like, bro, what is it? This. Oh yeah, this one has Playboy Cardi and Travis Scott. So you know a lot of little ass kids are listening to this shit. All right, and if you don't believe a lot of little kids are listening to this shit, watch an Aiden Ross stream. Anytime Playboy Cardi's brought up, every kid and their mother pops up to the stream. Okay. And rappers are very influential, and especially with the youth. Now I'm okay, yeah, especially the youth. Okay. And if you don't believe me, look at streamers. Okay, streamers know how to appeal to the youth because the bulk of their audience are younger kids, right? And look at an Aiden Ross stream, whatever streamer you want to observe. Look at how their numbers spike up whenever they bring a rapper on stream. They explode. That's why they always bring rappers on stream. Rappers are some of the most influential people in the country. Simple as that, simple and plain. They set the trends. Okay, they set the trends. Everyone wants to be around them or like them, etc., etc. Well, everyone to an extent. There's a certain echelon of people that don't want anything to do with them. But you know, a lot of people know that rappers have a lot of influence. The NBA players want to start making music and flex guns and hang out with the rappers to get their, to get their hood points and shit. The streamers, they want to stream with the rappers so they can get their numbers up, etc. Like the brands, they want to collab with the rappers. The McDonald's, the Saweetie meal, the Ice Spice, the Dunkin' Ice Spice meal, whatever the hell. Like, yeah, rappers are incredibly influential. I had someone in my comments say that rap is not influential. What the fuck are you talking about, stupid? Where did you get that dumbass idea from? Your asshole? Like, bro, stop. Like, some people, I swear, bro, your brain is located in your ass. Like, stop talking, bro. Stop talking. So let's talk about this shit, right? So, very influential music, very big songs here. Now, let's read some of the lyrics to this shit. Let's read some of the lyrics. East Atlanta feeling like a zoo type mix. Eating all the perks on some food type shit. Eating all the perkies on some food type shit. Eating all the perkies on some food type shit. This is what kids are listening to, brother. This is the influence. Like, this dude could really be talking about anything, and he's talking about eating the perkies like food. And I find it so funny. East Atlanta, right? East Atlanta feeling like a zoo. Oh, y'all remember Atlanta? Oh shit, oh shit, goddamn, I do. I remember Atlanta. Damn, it was the first topic I talked about in my last video, where a bunch of people got shot at Six Flags, getting in shootouts with the police. Over 300 people or whatever, getting attacked and shit, fights everywhere. Oh, yeah, I remember the Atlanta conversation and shit, yeah. So you got people like Travis Scott who are very influential in terms of the youth, okay? Look at his concerts, bro. It's nobody over 35 in that crowd, bro. He's very tapped in with the youth. I would say like 18 and below, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of younger people listen to, bro, I don't know, people that listen to Travis Scott, bro, like you still listen to Travis Scott, you're in your like mid-20s and shit? You gotta grow up, G. But anyways, yeah, like you see a lot of this shit. And even Future, talking about all these drugs, talking about this, talking about that, right? Now, one thing I really want to highlight here is the chorus by Future on Like That starring Kendrick Lamar. I want you to read these lyrics. And I want you to imagine how a young, impressionable mind would take these lyrics. All right, like listen to this. He's setting a standard for people. And look what he says right here. He's talking about kicking down doors, selling drugs, young dope dealers selling dope. Is you like that? Stepping in Balenci's, just materialism, bullshit. And then he says right here, bro, if you're from the bottom, then you're doing all this shit. Like he's saying, niggas from the bottom really like that. And bro, this is the subject matter he's talking about right here. Pop another bottle if you're like that. Step in Balenci's if you like that. Kick down doors, sell drugs if you like that. Y'all see the problem? Like, do y'all see the problem, right? Like, y'all see it. See, one thing rappers like to do is they like to set standards that not even themselves live up to. Let's take their chains, for example, right? They glorify all these big ass chains and they want to make fun of other people who got, fake chains and shit. y'all know a lot of these rappers, they don't pay for their own chains, right? Like, that's the record label paying that shit. It's for their image, right? Now they have to pay that shit back. The record label buys them that chain, okay, in hopes that they can use that image and, you know, the headlines, etc., they made off that chain to then turn that shit into music, blah, 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 and pay the record label back for the chain that the record label bought them. But they didn't buy that chain. But they'll make fun of you if you have fake shit around your neck, even though they didn't even buy their own shit. Now, this is only the surface of what rappers do, right? Like, these people don't live this life, but they'll glorify it and they'll push it on everyone else and push this toxic bullshit onto their community. They're sellouts. These rappers are all sellouts, all of them. Want to know y'all want to see a big ass case in point? What's Future's primary subject matter? We all know it's sipping lean. Lean this, lean that, drugs. We all know he's the drug guy. Read about this shit. Y'all saw this shit? Did y'all remember this shit when it came out? This is back in 2019. I remember them talking about this show on Everyday Struggle. Future keeping his sobriety a secret says more about you than him. So this dude, oh bro, if y'all haven't heard about this shit, your jaw's about to drop. So it says on Tuesday, January 16th, Future made the revelation that he was sober. Who knows? Maybe he traded the lean in for alkaline water and fresh juices. While this may have come as a shock to fans who often link the rapper to heavy drug use, no shit, because that's all he talks about. What was even more astonishing was that Future concealed his sobriety for weeks or even months. Not because he was diligently working on weaning himself off of the dangerous drug of choice without distractions, but because he feared how the announcement would affect his music stats and fan base. You think this dude gives a shit about you? So he'll make thousands of songs talking about doing drugs to influence young people into doing drugs, or people in general, not just grown folks have impressionable minds too. They want to live up to the image of these rappers as well. Tons of grown folks do this shit. So he has no problem pushing that image onto the community, right? He has no problem putting that message out there, knowing that his fans are likely very impressionable and are going to start doing the things he does, right? He has no problem doing that shit. But he's not even doing it himself, and he's not worried about the repercussions. He's all worried about the money and the music stats, the fans. He's worried about that shit. It's all the numbers. He's a sellout, and many rappers are. He's not the only one. There's tons of rappers that are complete sellouts. These people don't give a shit about the community. They sold their own people out so they could make money. They sell all of their own people out for money. Why don't these rappers all get their money and take it back, right? It's so funny. All these rappers talk about how they do this and how they do that, right? And they stand for the people and they represent the people and the culture. But when they make all this money, they want to buy the chains and the houses and the cars and go to the club and throw bands on top of bands on stripper asses, right? At Magic City. But they don't put any of this shit back into their own communities. They're not buying textbooks for their schools. They're not buying new tech, new computers and shit. They're not buying, bro, they're not fixing, bro, they don't put this shit back into the community. Instead, they detach themselves as far away from the community as they can and live in a gated community around white people and then separate themselves. They put a gate between them and their community. But you think these people give a shit about you? And then they'll still talk about killing people and doing drugs to influence their community to go do that as they make money off the blood of the black people that are spilling in the streets that they're influencing. Are you shitting me? You think these people give a shit about you? Why are they on so high of a pedestal? These people are sellouts. These people are snakes, cold-blooded snakes, clowns. Why are they on such a high pedestal? Why do so many black people look up to these people as if they give a shit about you? Why, bro? Like, it annoys. I talked about this in another video. I'm gonna put the clip from my other video in this because I think I say it a little better. But this shit annoys me. This shit annoys me. They're sellouts. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it's the record labels. You know, the record labels are owned by the white people. So, you know, it's all the white man's fault. Brother, the white person doesn't have the mic in their hand, rapping the lyrics. And a white man's voice isn't the one coming out the speakers. Want to know why it's so influential on black people? Because it's a black man and a black voice saying this shit. And it's black ears taking it all in. And it's a black mind considering, oh shit, getting influenced by it. That's why it's so bad. You can't pin this on the white people. It doesn't matter if the rapper's only the middleman, but it's the white man making the money off of the black man who's making the money off of the death of their own people. It's still the black man making money off of the death of their own people, the deterioration, the degradation of their own communities. It's still the black man doing this shit. And not just black man, the black people, because there's tons of women doing this shit as well, ruining their communities. And they know they are. They know they're impressionable. They see their fans. They know this shit. We all know music is impressionable. Are you shitting me? When Future right here talked about what the Gucci flip-flops. How many people went out and got some goddamn Gucci flip-flops? All the rappers rapping about Hellcats. How many people went and got a Hellcat? Bro, Hellcat, bro, they literally on TikTok, they call black people Hellcat people. Want to know the most stolen car in the country? A Hellcat. Goddamn. The jokes write themselves, brother. The jokes are writing themselves. That's how bad this shit is. It's the and the second most stolen car is the car that just looks like a Hellcat, because motherfuckers couldn't tell the difference. You could look this shit up. You look this shit up right now. Matter of fact, don't look it up. I got you. The most stolen cars as of 2023. Yes, the Dodge Charger models. Oh my God. This shit is so embarrassing, brother. This shit is so embarrassing. This shit is so embarrassing. It's so bad. But let's keep talking about the music. I'm not done with the music yet. Let's keep talking about this shit. So we have New York drill. Now, a lot of people are not very familiar with New York drill. It's a lot like Chicago drill. It's basically just flexing, murdering a bunch of people, bro. That's really all it is. Now, I'm not going to lie. I do love New York drill. I listen to that shit all the time. Hey, I'm guilty. All right. Listen to that shit in the gym. Look, I'm not the perfect person. All right. Say I'm contributing to the problem. Hey, all right. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm not perfect. None of us are. And we all listen to a lot of this bullshit. So it is what it is, right? But we have to acknowledge that it's a problem. Okay. First we have to do that. We can't just act like it's not a problem. But, you know, I'm guilty of this shit. But there's a lot of issues going on with this music, man. New York drill is terrible. And do you know how many young people, bro, watch the YouTube documentaries about New York drill and how much young ass kids are dying over this shit. Like do your research. It is terrible. It's terrible. New York is a bloodbath right now. It's awful. It's shit tons of little ass kids dying over this shit because they want to be in gangs. They listen to the music. They want to be cool. They want to be this. They want to fit in. They're joining these gangs and they're getting killed at alarming rates. Now, there's one instance that I like to highlight, though, for the people that say, oh, music isn't that bad. You know, it's not this, it's not that. I want to talk about the Naughty Bop. Now, if you don't know about this shit, a lot of older folks, they're not familiar with this. All right, let's talk about it. So the Naughty Bop is a diss track by New York-based rapper Kyle Rich. I listen to a lot of Kyle Rich music, I can't lie. He started teasing the song on TikTok earlier this month in videos where he dances along to it by punching his hips as he raps Naughty Boppin', punching my hips. Kyle Rich allegedly wrote Naughty Bop as a diss track about a 14-year-old drill rapper, Naughty Osama. Let that shit sink in real quick. 14-year-old drill rapper. Bro, what are you talking about? And you want to say music is not influential? We got 14-year-old drill rappers. Okay, it's not influential. Now let me finish the whole sentence though. Let's actually take it from the top. Kyle Rich allegedly wrote Naughty Bop as a diss track about 14-year-old drill rapper Naughty Osama, who was stabbed to death at a subway station earlier this year. Allegedly, Osama got into a fight with a 15-year-old rival who was arrested. The drill rap scene, known for the violence that surrounds it, with young rappers regularly losing their lives due to gang-related activity. The dance is allegedly meant to mimic a stabbing motion, mocking the way Osama died. There were so many people doing this dance. All of these are, I guess some of these are taken down or not showing, but like you had everybody doing this dance. You had police doing this dance. You had teachers doing this dance. You had little ass kids, little white kids from Nebraska doing this dance. You had black kids from Chicago doing this dance. You had everybody was doing this dance on TikTok. This shit blew up. And it was all about a 14-year-old kid. Really, it was a kid. It was all about a kid who got stabbed to death. And it was mocking his death, the stabbing. Y'all think this shit's not a problem? This isn't even the only dance that was like mimicking or mocking a young person's death in New York and shit. There are actually more. This is not the only one. There are so many songs mocking that, bro. You don't even want to look up the lyrics to these songs, bro. These motherfuckers are naming like 17 different bodies in one verse. In one verse, bro. There are so many people dying about this shit. It's terrible. The music is a massive problem. It's a massive problem. And we can't pretend it's not. And if you're acting like it's not, bro, you are straight up in denial. You're in denial. The music is an issue. And I'm not the only one that thinks this. It's so funny. I got a lot of people in my comments saying, oh, you don't know about black culture. You're not tapped in like that. You're just some light skin. You're just a half breed. I got all types of racist shit chucked at my dome in the comments. I didn't give a shit. I grew up around racist ass motherfuckers my whole life. All colors. It don't matter. I've heard it all. Your little stupid racist comment is not going to get to me. You're just an ignoramus. Anyways, I got so many people saying that shit. But it's so funny. I've been using a lot of black sources for a lot of this shit. I've been using like black references and shit. Joe Clark, etc., etc. Using Malcolm X, etc., etc., bro. And now I'm about to bring up Public Enemy. Let's get into some Public Enemy. A lot of the older folks now, their ears just perked up. I'm not talking about no Naughty Osama now. Y'all don't know who the fuck that is. But y'all do know about Public Enemy. Y'all do know about Chuck D. Let's listen to what Chuck D spoke about. And one of my favorite songs by Public Enemy, Harder Than You Think. This shit is a banger. And if you're not familiar, get familiar. All right. So Chuck D said, check the facts and expose those cats who pose as heroes and take advantage of blacks. It says, in the context of the preceding verse, Chuck D is talking specifically about black rappers who are looked at as heroes, but are doing nothing but exploiting blacks and the black experience while profiting from that exploitation. That's a fact. Now, we all know that Black Death is very profitable. Very profitable. Through the media, movies, music, Black Death sells. Okay? When there's a black kid killed in the headline, that shit blows up. There's a reason they're not reporting about all the white people killed by cops, because that don't sell like a black kid getting killed by cops. There's more clicks. It's way more like it gets the eyes, it gets the attention. Okay, but we know this. We should know this by now. We know this. When a rapper dies, their album sales skyrocket. There is a direct incentive to profit off of the violence and create more of it because the record labels make more money, right? When a black rapper dies, the album sales skyrocket. Their posthumous albums, they blow up. When a rapper is accused of killing somebody, or, you know, did they do this? Did they do that? You know, the charges that come out, oh, attempted murder. Oh, now everyone wants to listen to them because they're really about that life. Or, you know, look at TK, right? His shit blew up because he was on the run and he was accused of doing this, that, and the third. Look at King Von. One of his primary things that everyone was talking about was what? How many people he killed in Chicago? Oh, he's really the Chicago Grim Reaper for real, bro. Like, this is the same shit they said about Lil Reese. It's selling points. They're massive selling points, and they appeal to not just white people. It appeals to black people as well. It appeals to everybody. Black Death sells. These record labels profit off of black blood. These rappers profit off of black blood. That's what they do. They sell experiences that they're not even living for real. They're selling like the imagination, the fantasy of this like black thug who's like sliding over the hoods of cars and knocking down 6 Bloods and 7 Crips and all in one night. This shit is so goddamn played out. But not only is it played out, it's obviously dangerous. It's dangerous as shit. It's harmful for the community. I mean, the Black Lives Matter. What's that saying even worth when Black lives don't even think Black Lives Matter? What the hell? Black lives are taking other black lives at the most alarming rate in the country. Who is Black Lives Matter for? Who are we trying to remind here? We got to remind black folks that Black Lives Matter. Because it's these black folks in these studios making songs about taking black lives and then black ears listening to it saying, oh, bro, this shit bombs, bro. This shit's hard as shit. God damn. That's the problem, bro. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Bro, it's just a circle, bro. It's a circle. It just keeps going on and on, bro. A lot of us contribute to the same issue. A lot of us listen to this music. A lot of us do. We all know that the gyms are playing this music on the speakers. The radios are playing this music. We're listening to it, whether we even want to or not. We're all still taking it in. We're all still contributing to the issue. None of us are innocent. None of our hands are clean. We've all contributed, whether it was directly or indirectly in some way, shape, or form, to the exploitation of black people, black death, etc. That is the unfortunate truth. And it may be unfortunate, but it is the truth. If you have not yet heard Harder Than You Think, it is a really good song. I would highly suggest you listen to this song. This shit is a banger, all right? And he says a lot of real shit. This isn't the only line in this song I want to highlight. There's many more, but I'm just not going to get into it right now. But there are a lot of good lines in this song, especially the one that does precede the line that I mentioned, where he says, lips bigger than Jagger, not sagging. Spell it backwards. I'm going to leave it at that. That ain't got nothing to do with the rap. Like, bro, I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on Chuck D. Stop sleeping on Public Enemy. I don't give a shit if you're 16, you never heard of Public Enemy. Get tapped the fuck in. What are you doing? Play this shit right now. Play it and tell me it's not hard. I dare you to play this shit right now and tell me it's not hard. For all the young people out there that listen to nothing but Cardi and Travis Scott, play Harder Than You Think by Public Enemy right now and tell me that shit does not hit. Like, stop playing with me. I also had a lot of people in my comments saying that hip hop is not black culture. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, it is. And then, a lot of their arguments were, it was a lot of old heads making this claim, but they were like, oh, this new modern hip hop, that's not black culture. Well, it's still hip hop, whether you like it or not. Like, I don't think y'all know what the definition of culture is. So let's go over it. In brief, sociologists define the non-material aspects of culture as the values and beliefs, language, communication, and practices that are shared in common by a group of people. Hip hop directly correlates to this. A lot of people were in my comments challenging me on what and wasn't culture, but y'all forget, right? Bro, I study this shit. Like, I'm not just some, like, I understand I may talk a certain way and y'all think I'm just like some babbling idiot with no education, but I have been studying sociology for years. I attend university, guys. Like, I'm not a fucking illiterate dumbass. Like, I know what I'm talking about. If you are not familiar with what culture is, especially in terms of like sociology, then you need to do your own research, because a lot of people were coming in trying to correct me on what culture was and wasn't, but they can't even define culture properly. They don't even know what culture is. And it shows. This is a specific group of people all partaking in the same things with certain languages, certain communication, certain symbols, certain same behaviors that are taking place in, whether it's Chicago, whether it's New York, whether it's San Francisco here or there, Baltimore, Detroit. They're all doing the same shit. It's all the same people doing it. Yes, that's culture. That is culture. Yes. I'm sorry to break it to you, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter. It still is what it is, whether you agree with it or not. That's what you have to understand. Same thing with hip hop. Yes, hip hop is, it's black. It's African American culture. Hip hop is African American culture. Yes. Tell me, what are most of the rappers? Are they all white? Are they all Asian? Are they all Hispanic? No, they're mostly African American. Am I right? Okay. So do I need to keep going? Like, do I need to hold your hand through all of this? Or can y'all connect any of these dots by yourselves, bro? Like, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to fucking children. Like, bro, y'all are too grown to need this amount of hand holding. I'm sorry, but I am not your teacher, bro. Like, I don't take a sociology course. I can't do this. I can't do this, bro. Like, especially when they want to agree with me. I mean, especially when they want to disagree with me regardless. Like, I can tell you exactly what it is, what's happening, and you're still going to disagree with me anyways, because y'all don't want me to be right. Y'all have a closed mind. Y'all don't want me to be right. Even if I am, y'all don't want it to be right. So yeah, but this is, I mean, just right here, culture is also what we do and how we behave and perform. I mean, like, do I need to get into it even more? Do I need to explain how art is culture and how life imitates art? And if we were to all die today and People years and years and years, centuries from now, were to dig up our remains and observe our art, which is one of the first places they would go to observe the culture of the people that existed before them, like we do today with previous cultures, we would observe the art. And what would the art of African Americans be, bro? It would be the songs I'm showing you right now. This is what they would dig up and find. They'd be like, God damn, they were very materialistic. I'm seeing Gucci belts everywhere. I'm seeing Balenciagas and purple jeans and all these shit. I'm seeing this shit everywhere. I'm reading the lyrics. They're all talking about killing each other and being in gangs and throwing money on strippers at Magic City and this, that, and the third. Like, God damn. They're very materialistic and violent. That's what they would walk away with. And that's just what it is. I'm sorry. Like, that's the truth. It doesn't sound good, but you know, the truth is the truth, whether it sounds good or not. And that's all there is to it. I'm sorry. This video was obviously a lot more messy than my last video. I don't expect it to do anywhere near as good as my last video. I don't give a shit either way. I'm not doing this for views or money or whatever, bro. I'm doing this to talk about an issue that I deeply resonate with. And I had people commenting on my video, why do you care? What does this have to do with you? Well, first of all, this doesn't have to have anything to do with me in order for me to care or talk about it, right? If I'm standing over there and I see a house burning over there, I can still care about that house burning because I can see that shit, whether it's affecting me or not directly. That house is on fire either way, and that's a problem, right? So I don't need to be living in that house to know that that house on fire is an issue and that I should probably address it. So what even is that point? Like, I have to be involved. And secondly, this has everything to do with me. This is my community. This is my family. These are my friends. This is my life. This is what I'm exposed to every day. Yeah, this is my culture. Of course, this has everything to do with me. I've attended funerals over this type of shit. I have friends that will never see the light of day. They will never be free again over this shit right here. So this has everything to do with me. One of the most talented people I've ever met, one of the closest people to me in my life, is locked up right now because he fed into this bullshit. They're gone. They're gone forever. They're gone because they fed into this shit. And that shit really sucks, man. So when people say like, oh, this shit doesn't affect you, bro, I've buried people over this shit. I've almost gotten killed myself over this shit. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know my life. Y'all only see and assume. That's all y'all are doing. You're looking and assuming you know my whole life story. You don't know what I've experienced, what I've been through, what my family's been through. My grandparents got arrested protesting. Okay? And when they see this hood rat bullshit, you don't even want to know what they say. You think what I'm saying is bad. You don't even want to know what they're saying. Unfortunately, my grandma did pass recently, but you know, it is a shame to see that, like, and they will tell you, it's a shame to see what they fought for be squandered by their own people, right? They fought to be seen in a different light. They fought against this shit just for the community to then turn and feed into it themselves and waltz, frolic into the gutter that they try to pull themselves out of and embrace it with pride, embracing the trenches with pride. We see it so often. We see people that aren't even from that shit wanting to be in it. Look at Ja Morant. Look at Chris Brown. There's so many examples. Look at Montgomery County as a whole, all the young people in Montgomery County living good lives, but for some reason want bad lives. It's because it's like the hood points thing, you know, like that's where they think it's the black mentality thing. You're not really black if you're not from the trenches. You're not really black if da-da-da. Like now they think that they need to go to the trenches and get validated and get their hood points to be accepted by black people. What the hell? It just sucks to see this shit. You know, so you want to sit here and tell me this has nothing to do with me? This has everything to do with me. My family fought against this shit. I've lost family and friends due to this shit. I was once a part of this shit. I wasn't even allowed to attend my high school because I was such a bad little shit. And want to know, when I was at my worst, want to know the way I justified all the bullshit I got myself into when I was younger? I justified it with a victim complex. That's what I did. I said, oh, well, these companies don't, oh, they do this and that and the third to us all the time. They rip people off all the time. They've got kids working overseas for this shit. I can steal their shit. It doesn't matter. I can do this or that to this person. It doesn't matter. That's how I justified my terrible behavior. This is how I excused my poor behavior and my bad actions with a victim complex. Just like all the people in this video, in these videos I showed, that's what they do too. And a lot of people in my comments, that's what y'all are doing as well. The people that disagree with me and they're trying to fight me on everything I'm saying, y'all doing the same thing. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to find any way to weasel out of or excuse your bullshit behavior. That's all it is. And people don't like when you take away the victim mentality and you make them feel like they're not justified in acting like an asshole, because then it reflects on their own character. Okay? And that's why they feel personally attacked when I do this. Because they don't want it to reflect on their own character. They want an excuse. They want something else they can chalk it up to. They want something else they can blame it on. And when you tell them, you can't blame the white man for this, well, then who else will they have to blame? Oh, now they have to blame themselves. And nobody wants to take accountability to that deeply. No one wants to do that, right? So they need to find everyone else to pin everything on, right? They need to find every other way to justify their inadequacies or their mediocrity or the fact that they couldn't get this job, right? Oh, I didn't get the job because I'm black. Maybe you just poorly performed. Do you think that has anything? Oh, no, because you have the built-in excuse. So you'll never actually have to self-reflect and like look within and look at yourself. Like, what did I do wrong in this interview? Was I just a bad interviewee? Nope. They're never going to actually self-reflect. They're just going to say, oh, well, I didn't get the job because I'm black. Maybe you just sucked donkey dick at the interview. Maybe you gave bad answers. Did you ever think that much? Like, goddamn. This is what happens, though, when you have a community of people that constantly blames all of their issues on everybody else except themselves. Nothing improves because there is never any self-reflection. And then whenever you call it out, they get defensive and then they have labels that they can throw at you. I can get so much deeper. I can keep going on and on and on, and I can write a script and it can get very articulate and intellectual and etc. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it surface level and just rant. One thing I would really like to make a video on is the over-sexualization of black women. There are many factors at play. I think music does have a big thing to do with it. We can look back at the Lil Kims and the Foxy Browns, and because a lot of people thought just because I brought up Sexy Red, that meant like I was pinning everything on Sexy Red. Obviously, Sexy Red didn't start this shit. Obviously, it didn't start with Sexy Red. We can look at the Foxy Browns. We can talk about the Lil Kims. We can go way back. We can actually go way back because female rappers back in the day, they weren't doing all that bullshit. Right? It was the sexualization of black women rappers. This is what really worsened things. We can go way back in time. Let's look at MC Lyte. This is how she was dressed. This is how she was dressed back in the day. Right? Let's look at Salt and Pepper. This is how they were dressed. Right? This is how they were dressed back in the day. Okay? You see them half naked? You see these women half naked and shit? Nope. No, you don't see it. You don't see MC Lyte wearing a thong and shit, ass all out. You don't see that. Now look, this is what we have now. This is what we have now. And there's so many examples I could show on each side about how female rappers dressed back then, how they carried themselves and their subject matter, and then what we have now. And everything in between, and how it degraded over time. I can talk about this because I love hip hop. All right. And I find it so funny. Like everyone's acting like I don't know shit about my own culture. What the fuck are you talking about? I bet like a lot of people that were saying that shit don't even know who MC Lyte is. Like, what are y'all talking about? Don't try to question my knowledge on my own culture. I may be 23, light skin, whatever the hell you want to say, right? But don't try to do that shit because people have been doing that shit my whole fucking life. I see right through that shit. And I'm going to embarrass you every time. I'm a little more knowledgeable on my own culture and my own people and my own history than you might think. So let's not play that little stupid ass game. All right, let's not do that. Just because I didn't mention certain things in this video does not mean that I'm not acknowledging those things, etc. It doesn't mean I don't believe them to be issues. All right, there are so many things I could mention in this video, could have mentioned, but I only have, it's 3 a.m. Like I only have so much time in my goddamn day. I still got to edit all this shit. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much I can talk about in one video. We got to take it video by video now. Let's take our time. So yeah, there's things, and I know I could have said this. I should have said this. I'm freeballing here. I'm just popping off the top with whatever comes to my fucking mind. All right. So I can only do so much in one video. And I always want these topics to just be raw. I don't want to come out with some script and sound like some intellectual, like some professor. And I want to put my words in a way, right? I want to deliver my message in a way that is digestible to as broad an audience as possible. All right. I want someone that is 14 to be able to digest my message as easy as someone that is 41. I want someone with a poor education to be able to understand what I'm saying the same way someone with a good education can. Okay. So just because I'm speaking a certain way or using certain words or terms or phrases, I know big words, guys. Like, relax, okay? I can put things in a more intellectual way, okay? But I'm not going to do that because then the message will be lost with certain listeners. They're going to have to tap out because they can't digest the message. I want everyone to be able to understand what I'm saying. I want my message to be out there to as many people as possible. They can all understand it. I think there should be some sort of role model program where father figures of any kind, it could be a coach, it could be this, it could be that, it doesn't matter, but some sort of father figure, because the Black community has a massive issue with single mother households or single parent households, which contribute. I mean, if you look at the statistics, if you come from a single parent household, you are more likely to not graduate school. You are more likely to have a history of crime. You're more likely to a lot of things we see the Black community slipping into, check the statistics. They're there. You can do that research yourself. I can do it in a separate video. I can't do it in this one. I can only do so much in one video, but okay. These people need father figures. We know this much. They need some sort of father figure, okay? Now, I'm not saying that Black mothers are not incapable of being a father figure, but that is a lot to put on people's shoulders, okay? A lot of these women are working their asses off already, and they're already the mother figure. They have to be the father figure as well. Goddamn. I mean, shit, how much do you actually want to put on all of their shoulders, okay? Now, should the fathers stay in the picture? Yes! And we shouldn't have rappers like Sexy Red and other people glorifying fuck my baby daddy, fuck my baby daddy. Like, bro, come on. Like, y'all want to say rap is not the issue, bro. Y'all want to say music's not. All right, bro. They glorify this shit, but okay. Anyways, I wrote it down while I was in the gym. I said a role model program. I also think more programs where if a kid has a single mother, some sort of father figure of sorts is assigned a child to spend time with, play sports with, or attend their games, go on walks, take them out, do things, etc. I think that'd be a great idea. I think we need more of that. We have a lot of coaches, coaches out there serve as father figures to a lot of Black kids that don't have father figures. And I experienced this myself, out of all my Black friends, I have one with their father in their life, and he's African. He's not even African American, he's African. So, yeah, I think every African American friend I have that's like close with me, none of them have their fathers in their lives, and their father figures throughout their lives have been like coaches for like football teams and basketball teams and stuff like that. That football is like bigger where I'm from, so it was usually like the football coach. That's where they like got their father figure from. But your middle school football coach can only be your father figure for so long, And, by the time they get to high school, that's usually when they start like really slipping into crime and shit. So, I think it'd be cool to like, have some sort of program where I don't know what it would be. I mean, like, obviously the government would never fund anything like this. We're too busy shoveling money into other countries to fund wars and shit. But it would be nice to, in my fantasy world, there is some sort of program that pays men that are successful, have good jobs or things going for themselves, that spend time with these kids that don't have mothers, that are, kind of doing poorly in school in terms of either grades or their behavior, etc. Like kids that are starting to display that they are going down the wrong path, that these men can kind of come into their lives and spend time with them and serve as a positive role model for them. Some sort of program, I myself would love to start some sort of art program or athletic program for kids that are in these same positions. They come from a single parent household, or because I was one of these kids, bro. I was one of these kids that I was a menace in school. My grades were awful and my behavior was even worse. Okay. And this is what I should have had in my life. Okay. I should have had this in my life. Now, I did grow up with my father in my life, but he was always at work. I never saw him. I never got to see him. And, it showed that I never really got to see both my parents were always working. I never got to see, I basically raised my damn self. So, it would have been nice to have something like this in my life. And, you know, in my ideal world, I would likely be a candidate for something like this. But, that's like a dream thing for me, you know, to start some sort of programs for kids. I think programs are the way, a big way, not the way, but a big way to help change, you know, like change the tide, like kind of, because a lot of people in my comments were saying, oh, the black community is just completely lost. They're in the gutter. They can't be saved. You got to euthanize all the ones that are on the block all day. Like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Calm down. That's wild as shit. It's a process, but of course the community can be saved. Are you shitting me? What the hell? It's just, like I said, the standard is so low. But, I think that's one big way to do it is through programs, art programs. So these kids have ways to express themselves, you know, father figure programs. So these kids don't have to resort to joining gangs and shit for their father figures or for their brother figures, whatever, because that's what a lot of these kids do is they don't have a father figure. So they have to join a gang and they see these guys as, you know, that's where they're getting this, like, they're masculine role model figures, you know, like that's where they resort to this shit, you know? Yeah, it's just, I'd love to see some sort of father figure program or more art programs so these kids can express themselves, because when you don't let kids express themselves, they start to do it. They're going to express themselves regardless. That's what you must understand is these kids, they're going to express themselves. You might as well give them a positive outlet, a creative outlet to express themselves, or else they're going to express themselves in negative ways. All right. In ways you don't want to see. Okay. That will negatively impact themselves and society. So we need some way. I think we need more ways so they can express themselves. We need to, it's funny. I'm not going to get too much into it, but, there were things in, I believe DC where, money was taken out of, like establishing basketball courts and shit. And then, actually redirected into establishing prison systems, which is hilarious. We need more basketball courts and like athletic programs, especially. You can learn a lot of things through sports. You learn a lot about life and other people in sports. You learn about like how to take loss, how to actually hold yourself accountable for when you do lose or come up short. You actually can look within, because that's what you must do. You have to constantly do this in order to get better at a sport. You have to constantly see your own flaws so you can then improve on those flaws. You learn a lot of life principles through participating in sports. And I think that'd be a very important thing. We just need more programs, all sorts of programs. I think that would be fantastic. And not just for black kids, but like just people in general. Like we need more of these across the board, not just for one group of people, not just for low income or impoverished. Like no, we just need more programs for people. A lot of, especially young men, are just completely lost right now, and they don't have this shit. And we need more. I think we need more of this. I think this would incredibly, greatly positively impact the community. These are just my thoughts though. And I have more ideas. I have other ideas, but that is one solution I have in mind. It's obviously not the solution. It is just a solution, a thing I think that should, be a thing. I don't think I can't really see it becoming a thing unless I myself or other independent people start establishing these things themselves. I wish these rappers would with all this goddamn money. They care about their people so much. They never will though. But, yeah, they're too busy buying McLarens and chains and this, that, and the third. God forbid don't even get me started again. But, yeah, so, I just want to end it on a sort of positive note. You know, not every story has a happy ending. And that was kind of like my point of this video. There was no happy ending to this video. I didn't want to talk about solutions. I wanted to address the problem, because addressing the problem in itself, in a way, creates the room for solutions. Because if we don't address the problem without everyone getting defensive about it first and acknowledge that, hey guys, there is a problem here, then there will be no solution. Because how can there be a solution to something that isn't a problem? So first we must address that there is a problem. And once we all get on the same page in that regard, then we can start talking about solutions. That's why I didn't want to talk about solutions on this, because I didn't even know the reception of this. I didn't know everyone was going to think, okay, yeah, I totally agree with you, dude. There's an issue here. I didn't know that. So why would I already be jumping to fucking solutions if I don't know if everyone even thinks this is a problem? So yeah, if you listen this far, again, props to you, dude. You got one hell of an attention span. Let me tell you, goddamn. Follow me on Instagram. I love Halloween. The O in love is a 0. You can connect with me on Instagram if you'd like. You're not obligated to follow me on there. It's okay. I'm not gonna feel any type of way. You know, I post a lot of gaming content. You don't have to feel obligated to subscribe to this channel. I post mostly gaming stuff. So if you're not into that, I'm not gonna, have my gaming videos constantly pop up in your feed and shit. You don't have to, you can just listen and that's cool. It's fine. I'm not gonna hurt my feelings. It is what it is. I mostly play games on here. So yeah, I occasionally talk about some real shit, but I mostly play games. And, just because I didn't mention something in this video doesn't mean I don't believe it to be true. You can feel free to ask instead of accuse and assume. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Peace.